Hi everybody, good afternoon. It's Mr. Layton here down at the boarding house, here with another Period 5 session where we do something a bit fun at home and set you a challenge. So you hopefully may have seen that we're going to make a bottle rocket today, and we're going to use some kitchen science to launch the rocket. You'll see to my right here that actually in boarding we have a rocket club. And this is a rocket that was made by one of the students in Year 9 last year, which are actually launched via two-stage motors. So if we can get it to go anywhere near as high as this, which probably not, we will be really successful. But see how cool it is, and hopefully you will be able to design your rockets to look maybe something similar. So you need a few things. It's fairly simple. Hopefully you should be able to find them around the house. First thing, of course, is a bottle. So this is a 1.5 litre bottle. I think anything bigger than 1 litre or above is a good start for many reasons. One, because you need to put enough of the chemicals that are going to react in the bottle to be able to launch. Two, because the opening of the bottle needs to be big enough to be able to take a cork, which is going to be the stopper at the bottom. So first of all, we're going to take the bottle. We're going to take any wrappers off because they just get in the way, and then we have our basic rocket shape. Okay, and obviously it's going to launch in this way. So the first thing you might want to do is fit a nose cone. So obviously the nose cone of a rocket to make it more aerodynamic, and that's really quite simple. You just get a piece of card if you've got card. If not, a couple of pieces of paper will be fine, and fold them. Fold it into a cone shape. Okay, tape the cone at the top where you might fit it onto, and then snip round so it meets and joins the bottle itself neatly. Okay, and then attach it with some tape. Okay, so you see that it's just a classic roll it up into a cone shape, tape it here, cut it across, and make sure it joins. Try and get that straight as possible, because if that was a bit wonky, maybe the launch might be a little bit off as well. Okay, the other thing you might want to think about is some fins. Again, for stability, and all you need to do is cut some triangles out. Isosceles triangle with 3 different shaped sides, one straight, okay, that then you would attach to the bottle here. You could use tape, some normal sticky tape, or some strong tape would be good. If you did happen to have a glue gun at home, the glue gun would probably be even better. But again, 2 things. You might not have one, that's fine. 2, that will get hot. You would need to make sure you're with an adult if you're using the glue gun. Let me just show you then, whilst the size of the bottles is important with the stopper, you need a cork. So ask mum or dad, parent, guardian for a cork, and that must be fairly tight fitting. Okay, it must not be loose. If it's loose, it probably won't work. The rocket won't go very far. So it needs to be tight fitting. If your opening to the bottle is bigger than the cork, simply wrap it in some tape until it's thick enough that it will go in there and be hard to pull out. Okay, so it needs to be hard for you to be able to pull that out of the bottle. So what's going to happen, it will be a simple reaction, a very vigorous reaction though, and depending on how much of the bicarbonate of soda or baking powder you're going to use, and vinegar, it could be malt vinegar, which is the brown one, it could be white vinegar, it could be any types of vinegar, cider vinegar, anything like that. Depending on how much of that you put in the bottle should dictate how high it goes. And potentially how fast it goes. So we have the nose cone, we have the fins. Another thing that I've been looking at is kind of a launch pad. So what you definitely need is a really flat surface. So whether it be some stones, as in paving slabs, okay, it's probably worth mentioning to you now that it's probably better to do this in a public area, okay, in a park, or in somewhere where there's not too many people around. If it's done in your back garden, unless you've got a very big back garden, it's likely to go above the house, could end up on the roof. Okay, so try and do that in a safe place. Choose that with parents and guardians, where would be best to do it. Okay, but what I've done is, let me show you where we're at. So this is one I made earlier. I've always wanted to say that. So we have the bottle, which was the same as before. We have the nose cone, as you can see, just tapped on there with some tape. We have the fins, 3 fins for aerodynamics. And we also have a small length of tube, which is actually a recycled straw. It could be, if you don't have a recycled straw, it could be a piece of penne pasta. That's perfect as well. Okay, so again, I've glued that to the side of the bottle, and I'll be able to show you shortly how and where we're going to launch that and why we've put this piece of tubing on there. Okay, it's to help us with the launch. So I think that's it for now. Join me in the next video, or next part of the video, where we launch. Hi everybody, now we're on Coombs Court. Now if you are at Church Street in year 7 or 8, you might have played football here, but it's, as you can see, it's empty, okay, and there are no buildings close by. So remember what I said, that safety is really important. You'll also see I've got a pair of goggles on my head. When we do and launch the rocket, it's best that you wear a pair of safety glasses or some sunglasses, but obviously retreat away from the explosion as well, because that's what effectively is a controlled, very mini explosion. Now, the keen ones amongst you will notice that when I talked about the fins earlier, I said that you might want to cut some cardboard into the shape of isosceles triangles. And I said they had all different sizes, lengths offside. Now we know that's wrong, so just to correct myself, they're scalene triangles. So those amongst you, if you spotted that, 2 points to you. So you might want to cut those scalene triangles into the shape of fins to glue onto the rocket. So if we just come over and look at what we've got now, we've got the rocket in a base, okay? It'd be great if you could make some sort of base. This is something off an old chair that we use, okay, but effectively you can see that it's propped in there nice and it's sturdy. So back to me, so the science, let's go back to the science. So what's going to happen is we have vinegar. Vinegar is an acid, acetic acid, that will react with the bicarbonate of soda, okay, and one of the products of the reaction will be carbon dioxide gas, and the gas effectively will build up in the bottle to an extent that it will push out the cork, and that motion, that thrust, hopefully should send the rocket upwards. That's the theory. Let's see the practice. So what I'm going to do, I'll go quiet in a moment because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then going to do it, and then you're going to see if the rocket will go. So what I'm going to do, I've made a funnel. I haven't got one, so I've just cut a bottle in half. Get parents carers to do that. And in a moment, I'm going to put the bicarbonate of soda by eye. I can't give you a fixed amount, so experiment, into the bottle. Okay. Then I'm going to pour on a similar amount and volume, quantity of vinegar. I'm then going to put the cork in tight into the bottle of into the rocket. Then I'm going to put the whole thing back on the stand. Okay, so that's bicarbonate of soda first, with vinegar, cork in really tightly, back on the stand, glasses on, retreat, and hopefully there'll be a good launch. Right there, so we're going to take 2, because the first time what we didn't have is enough time to stop at the bottle before it launched and all the gas escaped. So what we're going to do, we've got the bicarbonate of soda in the bottle. We're now going to take a sandwich bag, okay, we're going to put that in the bottle and then fill that with vinegar, and then we're going to shove the cork in quickly and then turn it upside down, and hopefully the motion of tipping that up will cause the vinegar and the bicarbonate of soda to react and launch. Okay, so here we go this time. So I'm wrapping the bottle and placing in the bottle a bag. And then I'm going to start to pour in vinegar. Hold the bag outside because you don't want it to fall in. But sandwich bags take quite a lot to fill, so okay. More vinegar, as you can see. Here I have my funnel. Don't worry about the spillage of that. Fill that bag up nicely. It's quite full now, as you can see. You can see that there. Yeah, you can see the bag. You can see it's quite full. So, in one hand, remember what's going to happen. We're going to drop that bag in there, cork in, ready, bag dropped, cork in, and then hopefully, they're still separate at the moment, the nose cone's a bit damaged, but don't worry about that. We're going to flip, we're going to leave, retreat, come on, there we go, look at that! And that is how you do a bottle rocket. Have a go.